Triestino Mariniello joins us now. You're a law professor at Liverpool John Moores University. You're also a member of the legal team representing Gaza victims before the International Criminal Court. You're with us from Liverpool in the UK. It's good to talk to you again. So first, I wanted your reading of the language in this report as regards genocide. The exact quote on genocide is this: "The policies and practices of Israel are consistent with the characteristics of genocide." So is the report saying Israel is committing genocide in Gaza? Is that how you understand it? Or are there some legal nuances there that perhaps I don't understand?
Yes, first of all, many thanks for having me tonight. The answer is yes. The committee uses a very strong and direct language. There is no doubt about this. It's not a matter of interpretation. The committee has confirmed that Israel is committing genocide through several violations of international law. Which are these violations mentioned in the report? The mass killings, causing serious bodily and mental harm, and also imposing conditions of life in order to destroy Palestinians as a protected group in the Gaza Strip. For instance, the forced displacement and the deprivation of essential goods. In other words, starvation as a method of warfare. So these are not only violations of international law, but the report placed them into the context, and the context is that of genocide as confirmed by the Special Committee.
Okay, so the Special Committee establishes that genocide, in its view, is happening in Gaza. And then there's something very interesting in this report. There's this sort of big red reminder to everyone, and you see this if you read the report, big red reminder that everyone has a responsibility to stop genocide from happening. Can you explain that to our viewers? Because it's not just like any other crime, right? A crime is illegal, we know that. But genocide isn't just illegal, it should be stopped by everyone. Can you explain that to our viewers?
Yes, someone could argue that the report is not binding, but these recommendations, in other words, what the Special Committee is recommending to states is binding according to international law. Specifically, in relation to what you were mentioning, it's binding in light of the Genocide Convention. It's directly the Genocide Convention imposing on states, in this case, third states, so not Israel, the obligations, positive obligation. This positive obligation means adopting all possible measures to prevent genocide, or in case to punish responsible of genocide. So the committee here is doing nothing else than going back directly to those positive obligations enshrined in the convention themselves. So states should comply with those obligations independently on the report itself.
Yeah, I just pulled up Article 1 of the Genocide Convention, and it says, again, Article 1, the contracting parties confirm that genocide is a crime which they undertake to prevent and to punish. Do you feel that is happening right now? Do you feel the spirit of international law is being respected insofar as countries are actually trying to prevent and punish genocide?
Well, let's look at this article. It says, first of all, a positive obligation of preventing genocide. Preventing means adopting all possible measures when there is a risk of genocide. And the international community knows that there is a risk of genocide because it has been said by the International Court of Justice since January 2024. The answer here is no. International community, in this case in particular Western states, have taken the opposite direction. How? Still providing Israel with the weapons, suspending funding to the UNRWA, the only agency who is able to provide humanitarian assistance in the Gaza, in more than 1 million of people in the Gaza Strip. So in other words, they are not only violating such positive obligation, but we could also argue that still by supplying weapons to Israel, they could also be responsible for complicity in the commission of plausible of acts of genocide under the Genocide Convention.
I feel, and maybe I've spent too much time reading the various UN reports that are coming, thick and fast, really, throughout 2024. But it feels to me, reading these reports, that there is momentum building in international law, right? That the wheels of international law are starting to turn a little faster as regards Israel and genocide. Does it look that way to you in your expert opinion, or not particularly?
I mean, yes, the answer is yes, but we have seen this since, as I said before, January, 26th of January, when the International Court of Justice for the first time has imposed provisional measures on Israel. Then there have been other two decisions by the International Court of Justice confirming the risk of genocide, and then there have been the request of arrest warrants by the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court also against Netanyahu and Gallant. What does this mean? This means that international law provides the instruments to put an end to the serious violation of international law, including genocide. But what is missing so far is the political will, the will of states, in particular of some states, to put an end to such atrocities and such serious violation.
Triestino Mariniello, law professor at Liverpool John Moores University. Thank you so much for joining us on Al Jazeera.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.